I came across this dragonfly which was trapped under the nightlight and died. And this fly I found dead in the park. Um, and I collected them and I kept them. And I thought, why not try and cast them together in such a way that the dragonfly is eating the fly. And so that's what I was trying to accomplish here. And for that, I had to pin the dragonfly in position uh, in such a way that it was holding on to the fly and trying to eat it. Uh, the dragonfly was quite fresh, so its legs were still quite flexible. So the first thing that I needed to do was try and position the fly near the dragonfly's mouth, and then move the legs of the dragonfly uh, and keep them in such a way that it was kind of holding on to the fly. Uh, I wanted to move both the front pair and the second pair of legs to make it seem like it was holding on to the fly with these two pairs. While the third one, I thought it could rest behind as if it was, um, resting. And this was quite easily done. And using some pins, I was able to hold it in position. And then I left this for drying, and I let it dry out a little bit more so that the legs was a bit firm. But this was not enough. I needed to try and stick the fly in position. So here I'm using some resin to stick them in position, so that when I embed them in resin, they will not come apart and float away. So I'm using a needle. I've taken a drop of resin and I'm just placing it between the fly and the dragonfly. The small drop was not enough, so I took a piece of chopstick and I added a larger drop. You can see the drop a little bit more clearly here. And having done this, I let it dry out, and here it's dried. I left it for 5-6 hours and it's completely dry, and it's stuck together, and now there's no danger of it floating away when I pour the resin. Now I need to unpin this, and then I need to stick this in a bottom layer of resin. Here I've already poured the bottom layer, and it's still a bit sticky, as you can see. So I'm taking the dragonfly and fly and just positioning it in a way that it's centered within the mold. I've placed it exactly in the middle so that the resin can go around all the sides. I actually moved the wings and made it at an angle so that it would fit within the mold. And here I've let it dry out, and the resin has hardened, and the dragonfly and the fly are stuck together. And I thought it was looking pretty good. And I poured out about 100 ml of resin. This is one of the largest batches of resin that I've poured. And here I am pouring this resin into the mold and covering the dragonfly completely with resin. There was a little bit sticking out. I thought I would pour another layer after this is dried to cover that also. And here I'm just moving the air bubbles that I formed to the side and breaking them apart, so that there would not be air bubbles when it has hardened. And this was looking pretty good. The resin looked nice and clear. There was no sign of further air bubbles coming up, and I thought this was going to turn out pretty good. So I took this and I put it in my dry chamber to harden overnight. And I was rather looking forward to seeing this casting, and I thought this would be one of my best castings that I've done so far. But surprise, when I took it out the next day, this is what I saw. It was really weird because it was like some reaction had happened within the resin. You can see it's full of air bubbles. It's completely hardened. I'm taking it out of the mold to show you. It's completely hardened, but it's totally weird because it looked like after a while some sort of reaction had taken place within the resin, and bubbles seem to have erupted all over the place, not just around the dragonfly but also on the sides. And this happened pretty late, much after I had gone to sleep, so I didn't see any of this. And looks like it happened while the resin was beginning to harden. No idea what caused this, but it's pity. It's completely ruined my sample. You can see the first layer is completely set and nice at the bottom, but the second layer is a complete disaster. This is totally weird. I have no idea what happened, but that's what happened.